All right. Give folks a little while to come on here. Sending you greetings, light, and love wherever you are and you're receiving of this message. What a beautiful day. Yes, in so many ways, I'm just feeling so much love today. How are you? How are you? How are you? So, today's conversation, greetings and grand rising, grand rising, grand rising. I'm getting ahead of myself, right? The first thing that we are going to do, which is what we do, is center into our bodies. So wherever you are, if you've not done any work to get yourself into you, any stretches, any movements, any eating, drinking, let's do some breathing. And let's get ourselves into ourselves, bring our attention and awareness into our bodies. And we do that with breath. So I invite you to take 3 breaths in with me as we center into our bodies. So, I don't mind me. I wiggle, I move, I shift. That's what I have to do. It feels good that way, right? And so our breath, let's breathe in and breathe out. Again, breathing in and breathing out. One more delicious breath in and breathe out. And wherever you are in this time and space, I bring you incredible greetings. I just bring you greetings. It's so good to be with you in all ways. In fact, I feel the goodness is true. It feels true. It's like an expansiveness in the back of me. I feel this truth of how good it is to be in this now moment with you. And today's conversation is coming on a climbing. I feel like I'm climbing something in terms of conversation and in terms of holding the energy of the Sacred Mother Portal. I made a commitment to do this work and to do it daily until I am released from that charge. So some will get tired of me, and that's okay. We may curse at the sun, but we still need its warmth. So there'll be those who may be like, why is she always on here doing this? Because that's my charge. I accepted it. I receive it. I am so happy to be here. So if you are needing consistency, I'm going to be here because that is my charge. That's my charge. And if you can't find me, if you're missing me, if life has gotten hectic and you want to know, I upload them to YouTube because that's my charge. And so today's conversation, as I said, I'm feeling this climbing, right? I'm feeling this climbing, and not that it's spiral, right? The climbing is a spiral. It like you go up a little bit, then you come back a little bit. You go up a little bit, you come back a little bit. You go up a little bit, you come back a little bit, right? And so much of my life right now is inside of being in the moment. So, brothers and sisters of the light, I need you to know that when we begin the practice of being inside of moments, cracking the code on the space between the seconds, the Mississippi is what I call it. Get in the Mississippi, get in that deep, wide river in the South, right? One of the only rivers that flows north and from south to north, just like the Nile. Anyway, at least that's what I'm remembering. I'm hoping I'm remembering that right. Random fact. But get inside the Mississippi. What does that mean? I'm so silly. However, it comes from when I was a little girl And we were learning how to keep rhythm. 1 Mississippi, 2, 1 Mississippi, 2 Mississippi, 3 Mississippi, 4 Mississippi. There's this space in between the seconds. And when we go into the space in between the seconds and make them count intentionally, especially when we're expanding out that good, that great good, that abundant good, that make you want to weep good, that make you want to run good, that energy that you want to make it spin around and around and around good, because you can. We create this vortex of power and energy that can sustain us. It gives us the necessary lift to transcend the stuff underneath it. But most of us haven't been allowed to do that. In fact, the space that keeps us from doing that is our relationship. And I'm going to go a little technical for you today, brothers and sisters of the light. The technical way that we have been conditioned to operate here in this society is from a left brain approach. And this left brain approach is very linear, very matter of fact, very rational, very, it's how Western society has learned to operate. In fact, it says that's the higher standard, as opposed to just a partnered way. A partnered way of living with our expression and our love. But no, they set it as a higher standard, so we judge everything critically. So we judge our good feelings and we say, what is that? We dismiss it. And we cripple ourselves, we anchor ourselves to the earth. When the heavens are our divine birthright. You have the ability to feel this good. If I could share this good feeling that I have been conjuring daily by getting into relationship with holding the energy of the Sacred Mother portal. And so today's topic, love the light of the darkness. Not the light in the darkness. It is the light of the darkness. In our not knowing ourselves, we can come from fear, or we can come from great love. And when we exist in this unknown, we believe it's almost like it challenges our mind. It flips our mind to consider that none of this world that we're in is real. It's like, well, of course it's real. It's real. You're real. I'm real. We're real. And yes and no, because we're temporary. It will pass away. We will pass on. We will move on. Things will become obsolete. They'll break. They'll return unto whence they came. And what is the whence? From whence? From where? What do you mean? It gets all esoteric and you can't think it out. But if you go into your heart, you can know the truth of the words. So love requires faith to be the light of the darkness. Love requires consistency to be the light of the darkness. Love requires a devotion, a faithfulness, that even when you move away from that love, it calls you back to it. It drops you to your knees to say, I am here, love. That's why we sing about it. That's why we write about it. That's why we yearn for it. That's why we curse it. Especially when we can't control it. because it risks us having to be expanded by it. And oftentimes we call them growing pains for a reason. There will be transformation, and transformation comes out of times like what we're living in now. Chaos. Out of the chaos comes order. And we can order our steps as love, as seeing, feeling, relational beings who see the other as self and the self as other. And we begin this process of witnessing our movement. Witnessing, there's so much I can say. My. Their thoughts that begin to swirl as I consider this, they become the places where I lose myself in meditation. But it's also the place, this is what happens when you're high in the winds of consciousness and the ebb and flows of these subtle energies. I feel like I'm flying sometimes. I feel like I'm like, and they just, each thing takes me, move on up a little higher. I just move up a little higher in my consciousness. So I am here with you, and I am feeling that this idea of love as the light of the darkness is something we may need to explore, something we may need to get into and unpack a bit and break it down into easily digestible nuggets that might not just feed us, but could be used to feed the masses. That as we are moving into this time period that is unprecedented, humanity has never been through anything like where we are today. We can't compare it to anything, even the slightest semblance of something. This is still new. And as we are expanding into this newness, we will have to choose the frequency with which we expand. Because fear will cause the collapse on itself. The control, the anger, all those things come out of a space of fear, and it will lead into the collapse into itself. But I promise you, when we lean into love, which opens us up to, dare I say, trust, the best example would be give thanks for conscious parenting. When we look into the eyes of our beloved, the easiest way to look at that would be, unless there's trauma in its pure form, unless there's trauma in its pure form, when a parent looks into the eyes of their child, and that child hears that voice, feels that heart, feels that presence that had been with them all that time, the love and the trust that is created during that time, it can sustain us if we can remember. Most of us have forgotten the original love. We have forgotten the love that was so great that it has formed universes, solar systems. It's galaxies, solar systems, planets, ecosystems, all with the possibility of great collaboration and cooperation. Why? For love. To not know what the future will hold, but to know that love can be the consistent, so you stay with it and you use it to find your way into the unknown, knowing that anything that may happen can become known. I don't know what this is, but I can know it. Let me stay with my heart. What is this feeling that I'm having? What is this thing that's occurring here? If we taught our children from this space, love and trust, exploration, boundaries, clarity, but coming from always a place of love. How do we do that? Because we've created a society that works for the adults in it so that they can do what they love. And it's so it's so simple and complex. Because it means that we have to go all the way down into the baseline, bare parts of our consciousness and begin extracting not the thing as the thing to curse it, but as a barrier between us and our experience of love. It's removing it from our eyes, removing it from our ears, taking it from our taste buds and our sense of smell, getting the film off of our skin so that when we feel, when we touch, when we see, when we hear, when we speak, when we taste, love is all up and through that. And if you ain't never had no food that has been cooked with love and prepared with love, it is a delight to the eyes. It is a delight to the taste, to the tongue. And if you have products that you put on your skin that were made from love, so they use the best that they could find, they use the best that they could use. And when you apply those things to one's skin, it's like you feel the love going in and your cells are rejoicing as you are rejoicing. This is why consciousness is important. And then we find when we hear truth, when we hear words and tones, because some people can use sweet tones and not work from their heart. Some people can use sweet tones, attractive images, things, and it falls flat. It doesn't get in you. And this is a way to begin to know the real from the fake, the true from the false. And it might not be false wrong. It might be false not true for you. And thereby let it go. No attachment. Don't attach to it even in your disputing of it. You're not real unless Spirit calls for you to stand as a warrior to defend truth. There are times when we are called to defend truth. I know about that calling. I am a warrior. For those who do not know Ama Chandra, Sanahara Ama Chandra, I am most assuredly a warrior. So there are times when we're called to hold the defense and use the sword. And that's not, there's some who would never agree with that. That's just, I'm understanding that we live in this world in this way. And we'll just let that be. I won't go into that too much today. I don't feel the need to right now. To help you understand why the yielding into your sensing and trusting of love, because sometimes the sword, I will say this, because this is coming up, like a part of me saying, but sometimes the sword is used to cut away the impurities in ourselves, and that's true. Not to kill ourselves, but to remove the parts of ourselves that no longer serve. And my brain is giving me these weird analogies. That's why I don't trust my brain. I'm a pretty intelligent woman. I ain't even tripping. I know I'm a pretty smart chick. However, I know that my heart will guide me truer than my brain. I check in with my heart first, always and always. So, love is the light of the darkness, brothers and sisters of the light. It's love that lights the darkness. This is why when we greet each other and we don't know each other, what's in our hearts greet. When you feel me, you're feeling my heart, and it's resonating with your heart, and it's like, yes, my people. Anyway, I'm extra, and you get that. You get that. You get the sprinkles. You get the dust. You get all this Leo. I'm a Leo sun. You get all of that. You get all of it. Leos rule from the heart. And I want to see us all shine. Like, it's better with my friends. Like, to witness, that's the thing that has me over. I see me standing in the corner just weeping. That's the joy of watching us all get what we need. That's what brings the tears to my eyes, witnessing us all win, witnessing the families and the children and the what we can give each other. So that's all I really wanted to share with you all. And I think I'm going to spend time daily for a little while talking about love, the light of the darkness. And so, hey, I'm going to talk about love, the light of the darkness, and how that shows up through our living of our lives. Because we don't know, each day, each moment, each next now moment is a revelation. And we get to reveal it at the ionic, at the energetic level, to reveal at ion, revelation. And we can revel at the ionic level. We can be in rejoicing in a cellular, energetic, seen way. Revelations. So I'm going to go ahead and play these bowls and get into my day. If you appreciate what I'm doing, in a couple of weeks, not a couple of weeks, next week, in 2 weeks, something like 10 days, I'll get it right. I will be doing a project called the Pillars of Light. And I will be erecting energetic pillars in the city to hold it for peace inside of some cathedrals, some holy spaces. Some very holy spaces, places that span into the 1800s of service to humanity. So I'll be erecting these pillars. I'm going to be traveling to do this. Me and my kids going to get on the road and we're going to do this work. I'll still be doing my lives and I'll let you know about it. And if for any reason, I want you to know that, just to tell you about me, like my human. I'm a single mama. I have a couple of kids. My human. I work as a nurse. I care for patients every day. I grew up in the South. Eu falo português. Ninguém aqui fala português. Nós todos falamos. I speak Portuguese. I'm warrior, martial artist, singer, songwriter, reader, watcher of clouds, and keeper of secrets, and lover of people and good food and good time. I love to dance. Life is for living, and I'm all about that. So, yes, thank you for the offering of safety. We're going to be driving. It's the only way I know that I can control for the virus, because we're going to be doing some healing rituals with some of my brothers and sisters of the Lakota Nation. So we'll be doing some work together, and it's beautiful properties in nature. I'm just honored to be receiving and to be being obedient. To be being obedient. I know that is the way through for me. So when y'all support me with donations and such, you really do help make it happen so that I can make it happen. And yeah, I just wanted to share that with you all. I thank you. 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 So, what bowl wants to be played? I keep playing this E bowl. And the E bowl really represents the will, the solar plexus. So I'm not sure why that one wants to keep being played. But that's what I'm going to play today, the E bowl. And I bless you all with light and love. Ooh. What did my sister say? I did mention crystals yesterday. Did I mention crystals? Crystal bowls. Crystal bowls. I mentioned wanting to get my D and A bowls. I have those bowls in the Tibetan bowls, the metal ones. They both do different work in the body. The metal does something different from the crystal, does something different from the wood. Does each of those elements elicit different responses to our signatures, right? So, yeah, I mentioned that. I do love crystals, though. I do love crystals. I have a lovely collection that I'm looking forward to now getting big ones. But I gotta have my place for my big ones. Oh, when I do erect the pillars of light throughout the city that I'll be in, I will be putting crystal grids into the earth. So on that note, I think I'm gonna go ahead and bring some of those crystals into activation so that they can get as much as we have and charge them up with that full moon energy coming soon. So they'll be ready when I start putting them out in the earth. I love y'all. It's hard to even express how important you are to this work. So I thank you for being with me when you have other places you can be. Your time is precious. And you take time with me, and I'm wordy. I got words for days. So on that note, peace to you all, and until I see you tomorrow, peace. Or unless I jump back on and do something live, because you know that's what I do if you follow me. Peace, y'all.